In my career as a singer-songwriter, I've gotten the opportunity to work with some really amazing people. And I've had some really formative conversations because of it. And I wanted to share with you what I think is some of the best advice I've ever gotten as an artist. And I want to share it because I think that it'll be useful to you no matter what field you're in. So I was working on this project called The Roses While We're Young EP. It's on Spotify, by the way. And my producer says to me, Andre, you really have two choices. You can either, one, create, the same kind of R&B that is being made in that lane where the biggest names are. But when you do that, just know that you're going to have to compete with those big names. You're going to have to do it better than John Legend if you're going to do what John Legend's doing. You're going to have to do it better than Usher if you're going to do what Usher's doing. And you may not be able to be the best, but you very likely cannot be the best in that lane. You definitely can't be a better John Legend than John Legend. But your second choice is you can do something so unique unto yourself that when people hear it, they immediately know that it's you. And I think that the wording there is really important, that we're not talking about doing something that the world has never seen before, never heard before, but doing something that is completely and totally an authentic expression of who you are. Basically, what we're talking about is finding your own voice. And musical artists are not the only ones that have to do that. Writers have to do that. Thinkers have to do that. People have to do that. And there's something really liberating about knowing yourself and being able to just be comfortable with your gifts and to express them and even your limitations and say, you know what, this is my thing. You can take it or leave it, And that has been very liberating for me with that project, because when I listen to the Roses While We're Young EP, there's some stuff on it that just sounds weird and out there. And some people don't get it, other people love it, but no matter what people's criticisms are or feedback is, at the end of the day, it's a project that I'm proud to have made. It's one that even I would want to listen to. Which doesn't mean that, we should be above criticism altogether, but we do need to be able to differentiate between someone else's perspective and your own perspective, and not to automatically assume that your perspective is inferior to somebody else's. That's no way to live. But the scary thing about that, about owning your voice, is taking responsibility for it. Because when you use your voice, your authentic voice, and you do that confidently, you're going to find that some people don't appreciate the sound of it. You're going to find that some people have a lot to say about it in a negative way, that some people are going to reject it. Some people might even be offended by it. And so, as you listen to criticism and you glean things that you can incorporate and that can help you refine whatever it is that you do and whatever it is that you're pursuing, you're going to also leave some stuff behind. You're going to push some stuff to the side. You're going to reject some of the input that people give you. And when you do, you're going to have to own that decision confidently and look at them and say, or you may not have to say it to them, but you will at least have to say to yourself, I am comfortable making this decision and not making that decision, going this direction, not going that direction, because from my perspective, that seemed like the best thing to do and the best way to go about it. Some people are deeply offended by that level of confidence, by that level of self-awareness. But that's a part of owning your voice too. And I think for me, that everyone has to get to that place in order to be sane. Because I know what it's like to have those inner battles where all I'm doing is feeling pushed around by what I think people will like, what I think people will accept, or what I think people will think about me expressing myself in this or that way. It's an anxious way to live. It's an angsty way to live. So again, I think you gotta find your voice in whatever it is that you do. You gotta own it confidently You got to take responsibility for it to keep yourself sane.